Northeast Florida. Tell me, what's your fantasy? Mine is a combination of Mandarin and Marshmallow. If you're a Celsius fan, you know what I'm talking about. Fantasy vibe. Reminds me of an orangesicle. Northeast Florida is fueled by Celsius Essential Energy Drinks.
Legal Live is brought to you by Farah and Farah.
The comments and opinions expressed on this radio program do not constitute legal advice and do not create an attorney-client relationship. If you have a legal problem, a formal consultation will be required outside of this radio program.
This is Legal Live with Eddie and Chuck Farah. They're talking the latest legal news and answering your questions. To call Legal Live and ask Eddie and Chuck a question, grab your phone and dial 855-765-1045. That's 855-765-1045.
Welcome. You're listening to Legal Live, brought to you by Farah and Farah on 104.5 WOKV, Jacksonville's News and Talk. Feel free to give us a call today. It's a beautiful Saturday, and if you've got legal questions, we've got answers. Our number is 855-765-1045. I'm your host, Sheifalika Botnager, and I'm joined today by the hosts with the most, Eddie and Chuck Farah. How's it going, guys?
It's all good, Sheifalika.
All good.
Thanks for being here with us today.
Always a pleasure.
Nice Saturday.
It is beautiful.
Yep. It's been a big week. You know, the Jags are on a roll.
I know. That game was so good.
Knocking them out one by one.
One by one.
Really
Each
nice.
team had so many good, rare plays, like that 2-point conversion,
Oh, yeah.
Trevor Lawrence getting, first downs. It was great.
No,
Yeah.
that was a lot of fun watching that one Thursday night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
they were for real.
Yeah, they are. They're a fun team to watch right now. So
That's
I
right.
hope, and they'll keep it up, hopefully. But, yeah, your phone calls are the priority. As you know, we have things we want to talk about. And, again, if we don't have the answer, we'll try to get it for you next week. I received a call, was at the office this week, Sheifalika, and I got a call on my cell phone. I picked it up, and it was a gentleman that we had helped once before.
Really? On the show?
A guy that needed some help on I can't recall right now, but he just called because I had given him my cell phone number when I called him back, and he kept it. And he called me back and said that he appreciated it. It was had to do with a roof on his house. It was a roofing issue. And he called and said, thanks, for giving me that information. It worked out. So that was good.
That is
You know,
good.
yeah,
It's
it's
so
always good
cool. You
to
give
hear it.
people your real number, too. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it works out in the end a lot of times. But anyway, let's get back to what we do here. And, we're a personal injury firm. But, it's interesting about car insurance. I always, there's so much I think probably even more than more than attorney advertising. Probably there's insurance, car insurance. I mean, you can't turn on the TV
Absolutely.
without seeing an insurance ad. And you always wonder, what makes these companies different? Is it pay to shop around? Are there different factors that enter into what they charge you for the insurance? Yes, there are. And each company has sort of a different formula that it uses to determine what they're going to charge you for insurance. So it really does pay to shop around. And what I thought was interesting in reading this article is that insurance, everybody thinks the driving record, how many tickets, how many accidents. Your credit history is more important to the insurance company than your driving record. The first thing they look at, they do a credit report because they have the data, and their data tells them that your credit record is a strong indication of how likely you are to file a claim.
Oh, really?
Yes. So they look at your credit history, and I don't know, they look at people's credit history, and based on their credit history, that determines how often or how many claims you're going to file.
That's crazy.
And that's what they look.
So if you have a low credit history, are you more or less likely to file?
I would imagine if you had a better credit, I don't know, the article didn't address that, but I'm thinking that the better credit history you have, the less likely you are to file a claim.
That's interesting.
I don't know. I don't know why the correlation, but that's what they look at. They don't care. All they care about is the data. I mean, if they just look at your credit, they don't care why. The why doesn't make a difference. All they want to know, what they want to care about is people with a higher credit rating are less likely to file a claim. The top 3 factors in determining your premium in car insurance is where you drive, age and gender, and then credit report. Your driving record is in the top 10 of the factors they look at, but it's at the bottom of the 10.
What?
Yes. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I mean, so
I imagine
that's
some guy
incredible.
was probably sitting there, why aren't our premiums getting paid? And then they run like a little statistical analysis and say, wait a second, these people are causing most of the accidents.
Yeah. Maybe the low credit score people are
I
calling
mean, it's like,
Yeah, so let's
I
look at
don't know.
credit scores.
it's crazy.
It's more to them, it's more an indication than your driving record. And the thing about it is the insurance scores, don't just look at your credit score. Well, I got a great credit score, whatever, 6, 7, 800, whatever it is. The insurance company's scores are based on different factors. So it's a variation of the credit score. What the insurance companies are doing, it's partially based on your credit report, but the factors in your credit. There are factors in your credit score that are weighted and calculated differently, and different insurance companies use different factors to rate you. So there's a corporation. I mean, this thing is really getting involved.
This is.
It's called the Fair Isaac Corporation, and they created the FICO credit scores, and they sell those insurance scores to insurance companies. You can't buy it, but they sell it directly to insurance companies, and they are coming up with the factors that the insurance companies use to determine your payment or what they're going to charge you. Some insurance companies look at payment history, delinquencies, late payments, how much you owe, the percentage of your credit lines used. Those are all various factors within your credit score that the insurance companies are using. So there's a lot of factors within your FICO score that they're looking at. So it's pretty amazing. Like, for instance, I'll give you an example, try to simplify a little bit. Allstate penalizes people who are 60 days past due on any debt, or those who have opened new credit accounts in the past 2 years. So they're looking at, Allstate looks at your delinquency. Are you past 60 days due on any bill? Or are you opening up many credit accounts in the last 2 years? Which is one.
Wow.
So, but Progressive, on the other hand, penalizes those who have less than 2 credit accounts. If you have less than 2 credit cards, they're penalizing you for that, or whose credit is fairly new or have missed debt payments in the last 18 months. So every insurance company is using different factors within your credit score to determine what your premium is. That's why you're going to get different pricing from different insurance companies, because if they all use the same factors, everybody would charge the same thing.
I wish these insurance companies had a credit score where customers could look up how many times they actually pay when they need to, when there's a claim made.
Yeah.
I would like to rate them on those things.
Yeah. We can.
How about that?
That's a great idea.
Right?
We don't have our
Dang,
own credit
Sheifalika.
score. We
Right?
should have our own credit
Wait
score.
a second. You're on to
Who's
something
paying
there.
and who's not?
Oh, yeah? You like that, Chuck?
That's a great score.
I think that would be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's good for them is good for us.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And also, I feel it's slightly invasive for them to know if somebody was getting a credit card or late on a cell phone bill.
It'd be nice.
Like, what does that have to do with my home insurance?
It'd be
or
nice
car
if
insurance?
they're going to raise our rates. It'd be nice if they told us what in the score they based it on, so we can maybe
Right.
fix it.
Right.
You know, if they say, "Oh,
Yeah.
we're raising your rates because you're more than 6," if Allstate says, "I'm going to raise your rates because you're more delinquent on your bills," that's why sometimes we get calls, "Hey, they raised my rates. I didn't have any accident." They're looking at your credit
They're
score.
looking at your credit score.
And
Yeah.
if they see you're past 60 days on bills, Allstate's going to raise your rates.
Yeah.
Well,
You know what gets me is people who are having financial problems. This is what's so unfair about it. They're getting penalized. I mean, you're having some financial issues. You're getting further penalized by the insurance companies because of that. So it's the old adage: the rich get richer, the poor get
Yeah,
poor.
it keeps
Yeah.
getting deeper,
Yeah.
get
You
deeper
know,
and deeper.
one factor they like, though, which I thought was interesting, loyalty. If you've been with an insurance company for 5 years or more,
Yeah,
They like that.
They're going to give you some. They're going to give you a little bit of a break.
Of course they like that.
Yeah, return customers.
This is boiling my blood, this
Yeah.
data. I need to look at this evidence.
Yeah, it's
and
all about the credit
analyze
score
it
when it comes.
myself.
That's the top factor in insurance rates. Everybody looks at my driver, how many tickets you've had. No.
Yeah,
It's,
wow.
It's they do a deep dive within the credit score.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just looking at the number; they're looking at all the factors that make up that credit score to determine what.
That's
they're gonna
fine.
charge you.
That's fine. They
Yeah,
can
yeah.
do that. I just want to be able to see how much they actually pay when needed and how long it takes them to pay.
I would have my own
All right.
credit score, insurance company credit score.
You're listening to Legal Live, brought to you by 104.5 WOKV, Jacksonville's News and Talk. Give us a call at 855-765-1045. We'll be back to answer some calls right after this quick break. Welcome back. You're listening to Legal Live, brought to you by 104.5 WOKV, Jacksonville's News and Talk. We're joined today by Eddie and Chuck Farah, and I'm Sheifalika Botnogger. Feel free to give us a call at 855-765-1045. What's
Eddie,
up, Chuck?
I got a suggestion.
Yeah, that's right, Chuck.
I know Gimme Shelter is classic.
Yeah.
Classic music, but play some of that new Hackney Diamonds.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you like that?
Oh,
Yeah.
man, it's
Okay,
a good
you wanna
Rolling
change
Stones
up the
album.
music?
Don't get angry with me, Chuck.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll pass
Yeah,
the
it's
message
a-
along.
Yeah, listen,
Angry.
I've listened to it. It's a good, nice little album.
Yeah.
I get
Let's
to listen to it for a few times. It's a true rock and roll album. The
Uh,
Stones, they're the last of that generation.
Working some of that Hackney back there.
There's-
Yeah.
They,
Daniel's
they
looking.
probably don't even have it here yet, man.
Hey, wait, you don't
They ain't
know?
paying that
This is
kind of money.
WOKV. We've got all kinds of stuff. I'll put in a word for y'all. We've got a caller on the line, actually. Jerry from Fleming Island has a conflict of interest question. This is interesting. Jerry, tell us all about it.
Yes, it's Terry. Thank you.
Oh, I'm
Thank
sorry,
you for
Terry.
taking
There
my
you go.
call. No problem. Yeah, I think I have a conflict of interest between myself and the city council, and what it's dealing with is a piece of land that the city owned that was behind my property, and I approached them about selling it, and they said you have to go through the city council to get them to agree on it. They did, and they said it will be purchased by bid, and the bids will come to them, and then more likely the highest bid will win it. Well, Monday, they disclosed the bids, and there was only two bids. One was mine, and one was a person on the city council's son, all right? And to me, that's just a conflict of interest that people knew within the city hall when I submitted my bid, I did it and gave it to the city clerk, and then I went back there a couple weeks later to see if anybody else, and they said, no, your bid of $4,800 is still the top bid. So they all knew what my bid was. My concern is that family members, and I looked on the bylaws within the state, and it did say specifically that family members, if there's something that will benefit a family member, that they are excluded from things like purchasing property. And my question to you is, what is your recommendation on this? Do I have a fight in this, or should I get a legal advice?
Well, has he outbid you?
Yes, mine was 48, and the councilman's son was 61.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you think they disclosed? Were the bids made public? I mean, was it published publicly? Like, here, you can bid on it.
They said you can bid on it. They didn't say if it was like hidden bids or that
No,
the highest.
Did they publish?
They let you
Yeah, go ahead.
a bit higher than you that they would It was nothing like that.
Well,
Yeah.
how was it publicly, like it was in the Clay County Register? Was it in a newspaper?
Put in the newspaper.
It was in the newspaper, so anybody could
Yes,
see
sir.
it. So this person,
Everybody could see it.
yeah, so this person who's a member of the councilman's family could have seen it.
Yeah.
Now the question becomes: did they disclose to him what your bid was so he could outbid it and get the property?
Exactly.
That's what.
Exactly.
How are you going to
Well,
prove
the-
that?
I've seen through certain counties in the state, so that's illegal for family members to participate in something that there's a member, like a part
Are you
of the
sure it
city
says
council.
that? Even family members, like second cousins, third.
Yes.
How's our
yes.
any family member? But
No,
what's the
no.
Huh?
We're talking in another state, and so I don't know if that really. But yeah, this has to do with some property up in Michigan, and even some of the ex-city managers and stuff like that. So no. They voided protocol on how they processed this, and like I said, there was only 2 of us that put bids in. It so happened that a city council member's family ended up getting the bid. I just don't. To me, it should have been performed by a private company where no one knew until the day they disclosed that at the city council meeting, but that didn't happen.
Yeah. So who did you give your bid to account? Where did you submit it?
No, I gave it to the clerk, and when I went back there a couple of weeks later to say, hey, has anybody else bidded on it? And they said, no, your bid of $4,800 is top. So the clerk knew what it was.
Yeah, well, somebody has to know because you gave it to them. So you think maybe the clerk divulged it to somebody else or somebody within the clerk's office?
Well,
looked it up.
The clerk the clerk had to supply them all to the city council because they're the ones that made the decision.
Yeah. And so this city council, I tell you, it doesn't sound like, yeah.
It's a small town.
I know. Where is it? Yeah. This is in Fleming. This is in Fleming Island.
No, this is in Michigan.
Oh, in Michigan.
What?
Okay, man.
Terry,
Terry, you're making me crazy right now.
I thought this was a Florida issue.
Oh, wow.
No, this is in Michigan.
Okay.
And real small town. Where half these people on the city council are probably housewives or farmers. It's like everybody knows everybody's business.
Yeah, I mean, what you could do. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. That it's the laws up there. I mean, you're gonna have to hire a lawyer. And you have to do some investigation. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you want to spend all that time and effort. Why don't you go to the guy that outbid you and just say, offer him another $1,000 and say, I'll take it at $7,100 or whatever.
Exactly.
I mean, that's unless you want to get into a big fight over it. I mean, if it's really worth it, your resources, your time, and your effort. Huh?
Yeah. What I was saying about doing is going to the next month's city council meeting and bring up my concerns as a conflict of interest.
You could do
and
that.
Put up some of the bylaws that the state has, and then say, realistically, this should have been done by a private company.
Well, have they closed on it already? Have they given them the land? Or is it still pending?
It happened Monday.
Oh,
so I went back.
Maybe reach out to them like Eddie said.
Or go back to this. When's the next? Are they going to? Can you get to a next city council meeting before they close on the property?
Yeah. Matter of fact, I went there this week and asked, talked to the city manager, and he threw his hands up and said it was out of his control. He wasn't the one that was involved in the bid. It was the city council.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if it happened down here, I could probably help give you some advice on what to do. But up in Michigan, that's a different situation.
Well,
But would you pursue something like this?
Well, it depends on how valuable, how important that piece of property is to you. I mean, do you want?
I mean, I don't want to spend a ton of money at the outcome and not get it.
Yeah. You may be.
It may be a letter and a phone call and an appearance, like Eddie said, just to let them know that you're serious about this.
Something's going on with this.
There's something going on. It's not right.
Yeah.
I'm willing to pay you $1,000 more than the last bid, but let's make that happen because otherwise, something smells here.
Well, he could go directly to the guy that's got it now. It's in his control. He could say, "I'll give you $7,100. Here's $1,000." Yeah. He may not. He may try to shake you down for another $10,000 for something. Maybe $1,000 is not good enough. He wants maybe he wants 10,000.
Yeah. Well, I was it was going to put a shed on it because it's vacant, and one of the city council members knew that in the bylaw it said that doesn't automatically go to the highest bidder. If somebody's going to put a building on it, obviously that's more revenue. So the question was asked, "Are you going to put a building on it?" We said yes, and then the person that had the highest bid. He wasn't there, so they asked the mother, who's the city council, "Are you guys planning on putting again, you guys, not him,
that's weird,
building on it?" And she said, "Yeah."
Shady.
Something's up with that.
That's home cooking for sure.
Oh, yeah.
You got home cooks, man.
Terry, listen, we are about
That's
to come
That's an interesting thing. These small towns, you never know what's going on.
Yeah. Everybody knows everything.
It's like Mr. Haney. It's like Mr. Haney on Green Acres,
Yeah, he was the sheriff, the property appraiser and everything.
Remember, what's his name from New York? Never had a chance.
Oh, yeah.
Green Acres.
Yeah.
Terry, listen, I got a little resource for you. I just looked it up while you were explaining everything.
Right.
If you've got a pen and paper next to you. I have the Michigan Bar Association's lawyer referral service phone number.
There you go.
Right? I'm good at what I
Why
do.
can't you write the newspaper and say, look what's going on? Let them
I'm going to put it in the paper.
let an investigative reporter start digging into it.
Yep.
Right.
They'll get rid of that guy real quick.
Well, the number
Right. I'm
is.
going to put the paper under opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
there
like
you
it.
go.
I
Put
like
it up
it.
op-ed.
Yeah.
Here's the phone number 1-800-968-0738. That's the lawyer referral service. Call them, get hooked up with an attorney, see what they can do for you.
Hey, you guys are great. Thank you.
Thanks for
You're
sharing.
great,
Interesting
Terry.
story, Terry.
Yeah, thanks so
Appreciate
much.
it. Great day.
Take care. Good
Take
luck.
care.
Let us know what happens.
Yeah, I thought this was a Florida case. He was talking about Michigan the whole time. All right, that was fun. Thank you so much for calling in, Terry. You're listening to Legal Live, brought to you by Farah and Farah on 104.5 WOKV, Jacksonville's News and Talk. We'll be right back after this quick break. Alrighty, we're back. You're listening to Legal Live, brought to you by Farah and Farah on 104.5 WOKV, Jacksonville's News and Talk. Oh, excuse me. I'm your host, Sheifalika Botnager. I'm joined today by Eddie and Chuck. And guys, we have another caller on the line. You ready to dive in?
Yes,
Let's go for it. All right. We've got David from the West Side. Now, you've got a question and a scenario here, and I'm kind of confused on your question. Why don't you just ask it for us?
Yeah, the question is about, I guess, the serious one is, it's a serious one and a funny one. The first one is, I bought a lawnmower in March of 2020, and the warranty goes out in 2024. Well, ever since I've had the lawnmower, I've had basically nothing but problems with it, and they've had to replace parts, crappy parts with other crappy parts. And I find in the dealership become under new ownership, and they finally told me the truth that it was we need to fix it this way. So I guess what I'm getting at, is there a lemon law on a lawnmower?
Mm-hmm. Yes, there is.
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought it up, Dave. Well, there's anything that has a warranty, there is a lemon law, is a federal law. It's called the Magnuson-Moss. You can look it up on the internet. Magnuson-Moss Act. It's a federal law, and it talks about warranties. It could be a toaster. If a toaster has a warranty, you can make a claim. And the rule is you give them 3 repair attempts. If they can't repair it in 3 attempts, you have a claim.
Okay, well, that's when you said that, because it was.
You can
they fixed it 3 times, but like I said, they took the same crappy part off, put the other crappy part on, but this 4th time, it's supposedly fixed this time. And kind of what I'm getting at, the warranty runs out next year. Well, grass cutting season's pretty much over with this year. I cut the grass one time,
But this is a more implied warranty that it's going to operate the way you.
Yeah. Right.
They advertise that it would operate.
Well, he's given him 3 times.
Yeah, but he's worried about his warranty running out. But I don't know that would even affect it.
Yeah. At this point, because you've already given him the 3 repair. You've given him You're giving him the 3 repair attempts already. So if it runs out, I think you're okay. Now if you want to leave your number, I can get you. Because we do that kind of work. I can talk to the attorney in our office that does it. So your concern is what happens? I've given him 3 repair attempts, but what if it falls apart after 2024? Right? Do I still have?
Right. Well, the lawnmower was what they called a semi. When I bought the lawnmower, it was called a semi-commercial lawnmower.
Right.
And to my understanding, what they told me, it was a mix of residential and commercial parts. Well, the residential parts were the ones that kept going bad. So now supposedly it's all commercial. But what I'm getting at, grass cutting season is pretty much over with. I won't really know until next year if it's really repaired. Then by that time the warranty's out, then I'm screwed,
Yeah. Have you run it since they made this last repair? I mean, is it running and doing what it's supposed to?
Yeah. Everything's good so far.
Yeah,
Yes.
but you don't know if it's going to break down again and have the same.
Right. Well, because all the previous times I can get like 3 or 4 cuts, then it starts tearing up again.
Yeah,
So
I tell you what. I tell you what. If what you could do is just remember we don't. typically what we're doing on these Magnus and Moss are cars and boats and RVs and because anything that's got a warranty, or four-wheelers. We've handled four-wheeler cases, and we really hadn't handled a lawnmower case. I could talk to the attorney in the office to see if he would do it, but let it play out, see if it falls, if it doesn't work again, and then contact us, and maybe he can help you. But hopefully it won't break down.
Save all your documents.
Yeah, I hope it won't either.
Yeah. But technically, anything that's got a warranty, you give them 3 repair attempts, and after that 3rd attempt, if it's not working, then you have a claim under the Magnuson Moss Act. And you can make them pay your attorney's fees too.
All right.
Yeah, so it's really,
let me get to the funny case scenario. I just want to get y'all's take on it.
Go ahead.
All right, David.
We need some humor, man. Go ahead.
It's gonna be funny, but I realize y'all first injury lawyers, but I just want to get his take on it.
Sure.
All right, my buddy of mine was putting in a sprinkler system. Well, if you dig up a yard, then you put the dirt back in, you have indentations in the yard, right?
Right.
Well, I said, why don't you go out there to the dirt road and get some of that public dirt? So that led me to thinking, because I listen to you all the time, is that really public dirt? Is it stealing? Is it theft? Bear in mind, he did not dig in the road, but kind of dug into the ditch where the water sits and shaved off kind of the edges of it to fill in the holes in his yard. So is it theft? Is it not? Is it public? Is it private?
Well, it's state-owned property, I guess, technically.
Oh, really? The dirt on the road would be state-owned?
Yeah.
Because they put it there?
The state owns it.
But dirt is dirt, really?
I think so.
Well, yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting at. If it's theft, who's going to put a price on the dirt? You know what I mean? I know this is stupid. I understand that, but
I mean, if you just took a little bit, if you start digging up the road and all that.
Yeah, be careful. No,
they may not like it.
Your friend just kind of shaved off.
Right.
The side.
I never thought of that. That's interesting little, taking some dirt just to kind of fill in a hole.
You know what? David has interesting, lawnmower
got,
issue and interesting scenarios.
Well, this Magnuson Moss Act, he brings up a good point. It's not just law; it could be a toaster.
I didn't know that.
Anything that's got a warranty is covered by the Magnuson Moss Act. You take your toaster back; they can't repair it. They get 3 repair attempts. After that, they got to buy it.
They got to buy it. Wow!
Yeah.
Thank you so much for calling in,
thanks,
David. That was really interesting. And no more digging in the street.
Don't dig my road's already falling apart. Don't dig it under.
All right.
Thank y'all.
Thank you so much for calling. You're listening to Legal Live. We're going to go to a quick break right now, and we'll be back for more. If you have any questions, we want to hear from you. Give us a call at 855-765-1045. We'll be right back after this quick break. Welcome back, everyone. You're listening to Legal Live, brought to you by Farah and Farah on 104.5 WOKV, Jacksonville's News and Talk. We've learned a couple of new things today, like do not dig in the street. That is state property. And I think that we've got another caller on the line.
I better remove my backhoes then.
You've got it.
David's going to show up. And start.
Yeah. We've got another caller on the line and a few more minutes left of the show. Let's go to Jacksonville with Harrington, who has an insurance medical question. What's going on?
Yes, I was calling concerning, I have, I'm 82 years old and I'm legally blind, but I have a C-PAP machine I've had for years and it broke down, it quit. Then my doctor ordered a new one in May and I didn't get it. And then he reordered again in September. And now I called the supplier. They say they talked to the doctor that need more information. And I talked to the doctors and said they're working on it. In the meantime, I'm suffering from trying to sleep at night.
Yeah.
And I have lung problems.
What's the name of what type of machine is it? What's the brand?
It's a CPAP machine.
Yeah, but who makes it?
I don't know, sir.
But yeah, because, there's a problem with a lot of those CPAP machines. They're causing a lot of medical issues.
Oh, yeah.
Really? Like what?
Well, cancer, there's some materials in the machine that's getting sucked into the lungs, and it's causing a lot of health problems.
Okay, wow.
And there's a recall on
I've
some of them.
had
Make
this
sure you
machine for. Excuse me, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I've had this machine for quite some time. Close to 6 years or longer.
What's the brand on it?
And I'm trying to see.
Let's see. There's some popular brands for CPAP I'm looking up. There's HDM, Philips. ResMed.
The Philips one is under a recall. Is that the one you have, Mr. Hetherington?
This is a ResMed.
ResMed. Got it.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, are you getting the same?
And it worked fine for a while, but then all of a sudden so I went to the doctor. They reordered me one, and the supplier
just hasn't delivered yet, I guess.
No, well, they don't. They can't deliver it because they just said they don't have all the information. The doctor sent them an order. That was in May, and now this is in September. And they did the same thing, and I get the same story.
Is there a way to buy your own CPAP? I know they are. It looks like $700 to $800 or $500 to $1,000.
Well, I have insurance for that.
You got it.
Right.
That's why you got insurance.
My insurance covered it.
Did you talk to your insurance?
All these years. I've had it for over 10 years or plus.
Get your doctor to maybe get in touch with them. I mean, I don't know.
I did, but it's hard. I tell them, and the supplier says they contact the doctors and they can't get in hold of them.
Yeah, but I tell you,
it's back and forth. It's he said, she said, or as they're using as a thing, and then I'm sitting, I'm suffering at night trying to sleep.
Yeah.
I just wonder if there was some way I could, put a wire in and he's going to get something done.
There's a surgery now they can do. They insert this little device, and you don't need the CPAP machine anymore.
Do you want to do
well,
that?
I've had friends.
Yeah,
that
but
do
he's
it.
looking for immediate help, and
Yeah.
I don't know what you can do. Maybe call your insurance carrier. I mean, you're going to have
Medicare, Chuck. It's Medicare.
Well,
it's hard. Listen, I know I'm legally blind, and I'm 82 years old, so it's hard. But I've tried to get a hold of the insurance. I have great insurance. Never had no problem before with it. But anything, but you contact and get a hold of someone that they always lead you here, there, and everywhere, but you never get to talk to a person that you really need to talk to. If you've ever tried that, you'd understand.
Yeah, but the thing is,
I understand.
I know you need to get the machine, but can you make sure you get a machine that's not causing damage? I mean, you should do your research. I mean, do you get to select the brand, or do they select the brand for you?
They do that for me. I don't. Of course, professionally they should know, and I shouldn't have to do that. And and I never had any problems in the past.
Yeah, but you don't know if you're having problems till you get sick. I mean,
Well, I know, but anyway, I guess what you're saying, there's just nothing I can do about it except just live through it.
Well,
I don't like that. I think we could find some.
Tell them you don't want you do not want that Philips machine, whatever it is. Once you get them on
the
phone,
they always they tell you about Philips machine.
Yeah, he's got a ResMed. He just needs a machine in now. Let's see.
I mean, does Medicare have like a helpline or something that you could call? That a customer assistance, consumer helpline.
Well, I have tried. I call the number. It's on back of our medical card and all this, and it's just difficult. Or maybe it's just me, but at my age, but I know well enough over the years, and I've never had any problem just now. I'll maybe it's just a problem. I don't know what to do.
Well, I wonder if
no family member could help out.
Yeah, I was wondering if there's a way to maybe if you ask your insurance, if I buy this machine, will you reimburse me because I need it now? And you guys, this medical process taking up now. I don't know if that's going to happen.
They won't give you the machine.
Get the insurance company to write me a check. I think, Sheifalika, you can pull that one off.
It's just an idea, Eddie.
They won't give you a machine unless the doctor gives them the points things they have to do to set up the machine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but you had the machine before. I mean, they probably have all the information.
I know. That's what I told them. I said, well, I just had to, This thing was working last year, and this year it's not.
Is if a second doctor's opinion, if a second doctor
it
send
could
an
cause,
order?
He could have a serious, sleep apnea is not good. I mean, that can cause a lot of serious issues.
Well, that's because I know I have heart
sleep.
trouble, pacemaker and all that.
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't.
Yeah, well, you're right, and I appreciate it. I think I just took up too much.
No, it's okay.
No, not at all.
It's just like one of those.
Sorry about that.
We got time.
It's just sort of out of our wheelhouse. I mean, it's not something we deal with a lot, and I've really never heard somebody complain about something like that, where they can't get the doctor writes an order, writes a prescription, sends it to Medicare, and you don't get what you're supposed to.
Yeah,
I mean,
they
to me,
send
that's not the way the system should work. I mean, it's something.
Well, it don't go. The order doesn't. Excuse me. The order doesn't go to Medicare. It goes to the supplier of the machine.
The people who have the contract with
I won't
Medicare.
mention their name over there, but
Gotcha. You got. All of us we're trying to figure this one out for you, Harrington, because you even got our producer behind the scenes, Daniel, asking, like, could the insurance company buy the machine and then pay the difference? Then Harrington could pay the difference? I don't know.
Well, look, he wants to fork
the
over.
insurance is paid. I mean, they paid them before.
Yeah,
not fork over that kind of money.
I wonder if there's a way to contact the distributor or supplier directly. What do you guys think?
I've tried that. They will not. It's hard to get a hold of someone.
It's the government. You're dealing with the government. You're not going to get it.
I'm so sorry.
You deal with Medicare. I mean, you can't, like you said, you can't get them on the. Try to get Social Security Administration on the line. Good luck.
Yeah, that's
Harrington,
a full-time job.
It may be, if possible, to ask some family or friends just for, to chip in and everybody kind of split it, and you just go ahead and get it for yourself so you get the help you need now. I'm sorry that these companies aren't helping you, but sometimes it looks like this might be a situation where you just got to act for yourself and take care of business. Because
I've been doing everything the best that humanly possible.
Yeah, you are.
I pay, I pay for that insurance.
I know you.
I know you do.
And I pay over almost close to $400 a month.
Mm-hmm. But your sleep is important.
Then I got to go and buy something. Never mind. I'll just keep harassing them to
That's
somebody
what it
else.
is. You got to harass.
Yeah, he's been harassed since May. This has been 6 months.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it has been, sir. But I appreciate you talking to me.
I'm sorry. I'd like to hear if you get it. You can call us back or something, or what you did to get it. Maybe other people.
I certainly will.
Because maybe other people are in your situation. I just don't know. I just can't. If you see the doctor, why can't the doctor get on the horn and call the insurance company?
I know, exactly. They should.
I've been seeing this doctor for 14 years or more.
I mean, how come the doctor hasn't stepped up and said, hey, I'm going to get you a machine? He's probably got access. He's probably got an extra one laying around in his office.
Here in the U.S., nobody should have to wait that long.
They don't do things like that no more.
I totally agree with that.
What was that?
They don't do things like that. They don't have no extra laying around or something.
Yeah.
Nowadays it's different.
I mean, the doctor should be a patient advocate. I mean, he's a good.
Yes, I thought so too. But sort of, it is very slow at it. But anyway, they know the situation, and both parties know. I just didn't know there was some kind of way, just build around them and get them working.
That's a good question, and it's so unfortunate. I think if there's a way to get you your good sleep now, because your good sleep is the cornerstone of your health. We want you to get your oxygen sleep in, get your full rest in.
Yes, ma'am. I know all about that. I go through that. I've been through it before.
Yeah.
I had my lungs collapsed 4 times.
My goodness, Harrington.
But anyway, it's just I think it's just the way the ball bounces, as they say.
Oh, right.
But I appreciate that you're talking to you. I'm sort of embarrassed calling.
No, don't be. Thank you so much for calling. You're not the only one going through this.
I'm glad
promise
you shared that with us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that with us. And
it's important that we hear it.
Keep harassing them and see if you can get some friends to chip in and get you a C-PAP now as opposed to later.
Let us know what happened.
Definitely call us back and let us know. Thank you so much for calling today, Harrington, and as well as David and Terry. Thank you all for calling. You're listening to Legal Live, brought to you by Farah and Farah on 104.5 WOKV. We'll be back in 2 weeks. Thank you so much for listening.
Northeast Florida, tell me, what's your fantasy? Mine is a combination of mandarin and marshmallow. If you're a Celsius fan, you know what I'm talking about. Fantasy vibe. Reminds me of an orangesicle. Northeast Florida is fueled by Celsius Essential Energy Drinks.